Well, I had very good consistency a minute ago at an average of 21. That consistency will stay with us as we raise the tension up a little bit higher. But let's go around and spot check. Here I've got a 22, and here we've got a 23, here another 22, here another 22. So if I were to go all the way around and write down every tension and take the average, then I would find that I continue to have that consistency. And let's use our conversion chart to see what that is. Here is our conversion table for stainless steel round spokes. And this is the section that we're in. We have double-butted spokes, which have a long midsection of 1.8 millimeters, and that's where we're going to read the tension. And we get an average here, which is just a little over 22, and that should put us right about here, a little over 117. I would estimate the average being about 120 kilograms of tension on the drive side spokes, which is a good number. I've just been checking the tension on the drive side of the wheel, and this is normally the way we put the wheel into the truing stand with the drive side spokes on the right hand side. But in preparation for checking the tension on the non-drive side, I'm going to turn the wheel around like this. You don't have to do that, but I'm right-handed, and now I have the drive side spokes coming toward my right hand, which is my dominant hand, and that's going to be a little bit more convenient for me. And we want to have some consistency there also. Probably not quite as critical to be as consistent, but we want to have some consistency at least. So I'm going to go around, as I did a minute ago, and measure and record all the tension readings on the non-drive side. The non-drive side tension is going to be lower than the drive side tension, and that is just a function of the geometry of the wheel. These spokes are going to be higher in tension than these are. I like to express it this way: when you have the tension on the drive side spoke set where you want it and the wheel is dished, what is on this side is what it is. The average tension over here is not something you can have any control over. And I'll explain briefly why that is. So let's say the wheel is dished. I have the perfect tension on the drive side spokes, and my wheel is perfectly dished. And I say, you know, I want to add more tension to the spokes on the non-drive side. I'd like to get those tensions a little bit higher. So I go around and I add tension to the non-drive side spokes. What that will do, of course, is to pull the rim out of dish. It will pull it in that direction. And the only remedy for that is to either tighten the tension on the drive side spokes, which I don't want to do because I already had that at the level I wanted, or loosen the tension on the spokes on the non-drive side, and that puts me right back where I was. So so think of it this way. This is an independent variable. I can set the tension on this to what I want, but whenever I do that, the tension on this side is something that depends on the geometry of the wheel, and I have no control over it. I do have control, however, over the consistency, if not the average tension. Well, my tension has an average of 16 units on the tensiometer, but you can see that we don't have ideal consistency, although it's not bad. But I have a 19 here and a 14, and down here I have a 19 and an 11. So I think I'll focus on those. The readings of around 15, 16, 17, that's pretty good consistency actually. For comparison, what would be really bad would be 3 or 4 and then 25 or something ridiculous like that. But if they're reasonably close on the non-drive side, then that is good enough. But I will still try to improve these two areas here by finding these two spokes, loosening the 19 a little, quarter of a turn, tightening the 14 a quarter of a turn, loosening the 19 a quarter of a turn, tightening the 11 a quarter of a turn, and so on, and fiddle with it a little bit see if I can get them a little bit more consistent.